and, within 4 weeks, they can learn to cope and deal, and then other people are re-traumatized and triggers other things, and they need that extra help to get through. And then we have algae again, mental health first aid action plan. So A again was we will always want to assess for risk of suicide or harm. That's always the first step. And then after that, the other steps can be in any order. And we can always jump back to assess. Maybe they don't seem to be thinking about suicide, but you get down further into listening non-judgmentally, and you hear something like they might be thinking, so you can go back and assess, are you thinking about suicide? So you can jump around, but you always want to assess for risk of suicide or harm first. And then listening non-judgmentally, giving reassurance and information, encouraging appropriate professional help, and encouraging self-help and other support strategies. So any questions about anything that we covered? And again, I usually do this in 8 hours. So I just tried to put together some slides that I felt would be more, some more things that you would probably run into, Questions, comments, snide remarks?
I have a comment.
Yes.
I always thought that people who had panic attacks, I always thought that it was either like medication or it was something that they had to, or the bag, that's a myth that I think we all think of. But I actually know somebody with a panic attack, and yeah, for everybody, it's really different. Like for him, when he has panic attacks, you just have to find the TV remote and give it to him. And as long as he's holding it, it only takes him a couple more minutes, and then he's, able to relax and start breathing normally and everything again, which is something that, we don't really think of. Like, you don't think of running and grabbing the remote for somebody, but it just depends on the person.
And that's why it's so important that we ask and don't assume. Yeah. Is there anything I can do that would help? Is there somebody I could call? Yes,
on anxiety and panic attack, is alcohol, does that play into the equation on some people?
To having a panic attack?
Or having anxiety, does that?
Substance use could definitely, lead to anxiety or depression or even psychosis. Yeah.
Okay, I know somebody that suffers from anxiety and panic attacks, and I also know they tend to drink regularly, and it's even to a point where I've gone to some parties, they posted it, I'll have a beer, that's it. It's like, looks at me like, well, you need to loosen up, or but it's also, that's, it's just, I'm wondering if the alcohol is part of the factor.
Well, and when we do mental health
I'm not trying to be judgmental of the person.
Right. Yeah, when we do mental health first aid, we get into substance use disorders, sometimes it's really hard did the substance use disorder cause the mental health, the depression and the anxiety, or vice versa? Are they self-medicating with drugs and alcohol to cope with the depression and anxiety? It gets kind of muddled. And so in the past, it's kind of been a thing where you either treat the depression, anxiety first, and then you address the substance use, or vice versa. And now there's more co-occurring programs and dual diagnosis programs that address it together, because they play off of each other and feed one another. And you really do need to deal with, the whole, person. Any other questions, comments? I brought some brochures, so they're limited, but feel free to, there's all the different programs that Transitions offers, everything. We have a family support advocate here in Lompoc. Her name is Janine Cruz, and I believe she works 20 hours a week, and she supports family members who have a loved one living with a mental illness, because a lot of times the family members need their own support. you know, to learn how do I deal with a loved one that has depression, anxiety, OCD, you know, post-traumatic stress disorder. So,
Is she the one doing the group as well?
on Wednesdays over at
Wednesdays,
Cypress, yes. Yeah, she has a family support group on Wednesdays. Free. All of Transitions programs are free. So,
Where do you get your funding from?
we get some Mental Health Service Act funding, so from Proposition 63, that $1 million tax. And then we do get grant money for our grocery budget. Some donations. A couple churches have been supporters of ours for quite a while now. And yeah.
I'm sorry I was late. Is Transitions in Lompoc only then?
No, actually, Transitions Mental Health Association's hub is in San Luis Obispo,
Okay.
and we have programs from Paso Robles to Lompoc. So in Lompoc, we have 2 programs. In Santa Maria, there's 2 programs, and there's a number of programs, housing, residential, youth treatment in San Luis County.
Great.
Over 200 employees.
And do you offer services to adults only?
Here in Lompoc, at our program, where I'm at Helping Hands of Lompoc, we're 18 and older only.
Okay.
Yeah, the ACT program, the Assertive Community Treatment Program on Cypress, I'm not sure if they have underage or not. I think most of them are with the transitional age youth with behavioral wellness.
Okay.
Yeah, but in San Luis County, Transitions does have some youth programs, residential treatment and things.
Nice.
Sure. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. I brought some fun